Hi, you fours. It's Caitlin here. I'm here today to do a literacy lesson with you. Before we get started, I just want to say I hope you all had good holidays. It's the first time I'm seeing you since the holidays. I hope you had fun on the holidays, even though you were at home. I'm sure you still would have found some things to do. I hope you've had a good start to the week doing our online learning program. I'm going to run through a reading lesson with you today, and it's all about answering reorganization questions. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see the PowerPoint, so we can go through our learning intention and success criteria like normal. Okay, so this is literacy session 3 for week 2. Our learning intention today is we are learning to identify what the question is asking us. So it's all about being able to find the information within the question that we need to answer. So finding those keywords to answer. To be successful today, you will be able to identify keywords in the question, and you will know that when questions are asking about a time, a season, a month, it's going to be asking you to find information that's discussing or stating when something occurred. So we've got 2 texts to read through. The first one is called Microwave, and this is a non-fiction text about microwaves. The microwave oven was invented in 1948, but it wasn't common in households until about 30 years after its invention. They are now considered to be one of the most useful items in the kitchen. These small ovens use very short radio waves, called microwaves, to cook or heat food. They make the molecules of water in the food vibrate and produce heat. Using this method, a meal can be prepared in a few minutes. Now, the question is about when did microwave ovens become common in households? I'm going to set my timer for a minute. I'm going to let you have some time to find the key parts of the question and try and find the answer in the text, and then I'm going to go through the answer with you. So you've got a minute to do that now. All right, that's just about a minute there, guys. So I'm going to move on to my next slide and we'll see if we got the same thing. For the question, I highlighted the word when. I highlighted become common because I know that that refers to a time. When I looked in the text, I found 1948. I highlighted that because I know that that's referring to a year, which is something that we measure saying the word when. And I highlighted 30 years after because that was also referring to when something occurred. The answer I got was 1978 because that is 30 years after 1948 when the microwave became common in households. Our next text is called Friends. This text I'm going to read to you, and we're going to do the same thing as we did before. So, Melanie, Jess, Caitlin, and Alex were great friends. They all went through university together 6 years ago, beginning in 2014. But Jess and Melanie had been friends since high school, which was 5 years before university. When did Jess and Melanie become friends? So I'm going to say the question again. When did Jess and Melanie become friends? I'm going to set my timer again. This time I'm only going to give you 40 seconds to try and find the answer, and then I'm going to go through my next slide. So using the key information in the question, the key information in the text, try and answer this when question. Okay, I'm going to move on. So I highlighted in the question when and become because they both refer to a when. In the text, I highlighted 6 years ago because that's referring to a time. I highlighted 2014 because that's a year. And I highlighted 5 years before university because that's referring to a time when something happened. My answer for this question is 2009. Now my answer is 2009 because they started university in 2014 and had been friends for 5 years before that time. So 2014, take away 5, my answer is 2009 is when they became friends. All right, that's it for our introduction today. You are going to be moving on to independent reading now. For independent reading today, just like when we're at school, you'll be able to choose a good fit book for you. Remember, a good fit book could be a magazine, it could be a newspaper. It's something that you are interested in and want to read. So you're going to do your independent reading for 15 minutes. While you're doing your reading today, I want you to get a piece of paper or a book to write in, and I want you to write down any words that you find that are linked to when something happened. So these could be words such as yesterday, could be winter, 2:30, always, the day before, the other day. So any of those words that you find, I want you to write them down in your book or on a piece of paper. You can pause the video now and go and do your independent reading, or you can watch what the learning task is going to be, then go and do your independent reading and then do the learning task. So your learning task, after you do your independent reading for 15 minutes today, your learning task is going to be using the following words or phrases related to when questions. You need to write these in a sentence to show that you understand what they mean. So the phrases we have are never, last night, the other day, 8:30, before summer, after breakfast, next week, next year. So you need to write all of these in a sentence. So an example of this would be, the other day, I took my dog Yogi for a walk around the block. If someone said to me, when did you take your dog for a walk? My answer would be the other day, because that's referring to the time it happened. Now you can see there's quite a few here. If you do not get through all of them, that is okay. You still need to upload what you get done by the end of the day. If you finish all of them, that is also okay. And if you still have some time, you might like to think of some of your own phrases that can describe when things happen and write some more sentences. Everyone needs to upload this to Compass by the end of the day. It's in your learning task called Literacy Session 3. One last thing, remember, if you do not understand anything that I've gone through today, if you have any questions about your learning task, your teachers have their computers and they are waiting to hear from you. So if you need to ask a question, go onto Compass using your login, go into your learning task and type a question to your teacher. I hope you all have a great day and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, Grade 4s.